Okay, we not only have passive solar on this house. This house is off the grid and has active solar. It has photovoltaic solar panels on this roof. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I put on this house 7.9 kW on the south facing roof. In this latitude, in this climate, you can do these online solar calculators. PV watts? Am I remembering the right one? PV watts, online solar calculator. You plug in your zip code. You plug in the tilt of your roof, how far off south your roof is, and how many kW you put on your roof, and it'll shoot out in every month of the year what your average solar production will be, right? So I put enough 7.9 kW in this climate is going to produce roughly 30 kilowatt hours a day on average. That's just average. So on sunny days, way more, cloudy days, way less. Now, why 30 kilowatt hours? For me, that was a design principle. Because 30 kilowatt hours a day just happens to be the average American home's average electrical consumption. So for me, building this house was like a science experiment.
Right, I was gonna say experiments.
It's like, well, I'm gonna take my allotment.
Right.
What can I do with an average production of 30 kilowatt hours a day? Now, be mindful that your average American home doesn't use complete electricity. What are the 4 biggest uses? We went over those. Cooking, heating and cooling, water heating, and drying. So a lot of houses use gas or propane for some of those uses, right? But it's still the average is 30 kilowatt hours. Yeah. So I want to design a house where all of our hot water, all of this duplex houses hot water.
So everybody's getting it.
Is-
Everybody in the whole, okay.
And in whatever basement usage we have to, is all the hot water is coming from our solar system,
Wow.
off grid, even during cloudy weather.
Wow.
Sometimes on cloudy weather we cook on electricity. So on sunny days we have a little toaster oven, we have an electric hot plate. You could even get one of those if you were really counting your watts. You could get one of those induction hot plates, which are even more efficient. But on sunny days, we're not even counting our watt because on sunny days the sun shines when it pours. So we'll just even cook on this. We have like those electric tea kettles, crock pots, instant pots, electric rice cookers. You can always find electric rice cookers in thrift stores all over America for dollars. Make really good rice.
Did you get it right?
Yeah.
30 years ago?
We have a Chevy Volt, which is a plug-in hybrid. So on sunny days, in fact, if it's been a sunny day and I know the next day is going to be a sunny day, I'll plug in the Chevy Volt at night.
Oh.
And I have a big enough battery that it can take that, and I'm confident that the battery is going to get a full charge on it the next day. So we have sometimes cooking on solar, sometimes driving on solar. We have air conditioning, so HVAC.
Right.
We don't even, our mini splits we'll use in the winter, like sometimes if it's a really cold morning or something, and like we'll just like take the edge off for like 15 minutes. It's like we're getting our clothes on or whatever. But for the most part, we rarely use the heat part of the heat pump. We just use it for air conditioning. And it's all possible. It all worked.
How big's your battery?
Batteries. I'm making a mess over here with my sandals. I'm one of the holdouts on batteries. Everybody's talking about the lithium ion batteries and the lithium iron phosphate, lithium this, lithium. I think lithium's great. For phones, for computers, for power tools on a job site, little lithium batteries are freaking amazing. For cars, for plug-in hybrid cars, I'm limited to that. Great. But there's this problem with lithium that doesn't get talked about. Is that at present, when a lithium battery dies, we do not know how to take the lithium that's in it and recycle it. someone in every class I've ever given on this subject says, no, I know I have a friend and they have this company and they do lithium battery recycling. I'm like, yeah, well, give me the website and I'll look into it and I'll prove once again that what they're recycling is the copper, the nickel, and the cobalt and all the heavy metals in the battery. And they're reusing those to make another battery. The lithium is at best ground up and put in as a filler for concrete.
What?
Okay?
To just get rid of it.
They have not figured out how to take a dead lithium battery and reuse the lithium out of it. So I look at that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna hold out for old lead acid batteries. Lead acid batteries have a problem, they suck. So you use the lead acid battery that is the most proven track record. Forklift batteries. Industrial forklift batteries. Think about all the forklifts all over the planet that are moving pallets of heavy goods around the warehouses all day long and then are charged every night, and then the next day lift up tons of more material to move around all day long. It's a proven industrial forklift batteries. Now you can also get them where they have removable cells so that you don't have this thing that weighs a ton and then you have to be able to move a ton around. It's very hard to move a ton around. But you can get the batteries where each cell, every 2-volt cell, can clean and jerk right out of there, right? So you put a strap over the terminals and you get a 2x4 that's like 3-4 foot long, and 2 guys that are not even great health, but just decent health. It's not like they have huge muscles or anything. And you just clean and jerk that baby right out of there and take it down into your basement and and then bring in the steel case and then put those cells right back in and wire them up, and then you have cabling between all your 2-volt cells. And if the world ever goes to hell, what are the chances? And one of those cells go bad and you can't get a replacement for it, just bypass it. So I had a 48-volt battery yesterday, now I have a 46-volt battery. I changed my solar charge controller inverter settings accordingly, and so now I have 23/24 the battery I did yesterday. But am I dead in the water? I'm not dead in the water. All those lithium fancy batteries have all this freaking internal electronics. I'm like, do I trust all that stuff to last 20-something years? Maybe. And if it goes bad, how am I going to replace a cell in that super highfalutin tens of thousands of dollar thing with all this battery management system? No, I'm not going to replace, and with lead, I know lead is toxic, but 99% of all lead humans have ever mined is actively in use. The 1% that's not
is in your body.
In your life.
Scattered ammunition. Point being is that in every town in America, every auto parts store, every metal recycling facility will take lead from you today and give you money for it today. And at low temperatures, did everybody hear that? Low temperatures, not like temperatures that you make Portland cement in or steel or ammonia. Low temperatures, you can melt the lead out of that battery and make a brand new battery.
So why is lithium the shiny new thing?
I mean, not a whole lot of people want a 2-ton battery in their basement.
Yeah.
But I don't want a 2-ton battery in my car, but I don't care if I have a 2-ton battery in my basement. I put it there once and I don't care if it's 2 tons. I just gotta put it there once.
Less efficient for something that has to move.
And it's less efficient. So the round trip efficiency of lead acid isn't as good as lithium. But I just said a phrase earlier on, when the sun shines, it pours. Right? So the trick in living off the grid, I believe, solar panels are not the most expensive part of an off-the-grid solar system anymore. They're not the second most expensive part of the off-the-grid solar system anymore. They're probably in third now. So fill your roof with solar panels.
Right.
They're kind of cheap and easy. And then your problem is on sunny days, what do you do with the excess?
Oh, you do? That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
So what I did is I have 2 water heaters. I have a heat pump water heater in the basement, and we'll go do a tour of the utility room. But I also have another 80-gallon water heater that's a commercial water heater that I can take up to 150 degrees, and I remove the element out of it and I replace it with a 48-volt DC element. and I connected it to a diversion controller, so that as my battery gets more and more full on a sunny day, as the battery gets more and more full, it accepts less and less power.
Okay, so that's how you harness it.
Like a water balloon, you know.
Yeah.
At first you could put a ton of, but at some point, you know, someone's got to slowly turn down the faucet on the water balloon or it's going to explode. Same thing as a battery. Like as the battery gets more and more full, it takes less and less power. Well, a diversion controller takes the power that would otherwise, a charge controller would usually just disconnect the solar panels in an off-the-grid system. Instead of disconnecting the solar panels, just divert that power into an 80-gallon water heater that gets up to 150 degrees.
Okay.
So now, when my chemical lead acid battery gets full, I divert what would go to waste to hot water battery, heat storage battery. Now that's automatic. Nobody has to.
I was going to say, do you have to kind of control that?
I don't have to be home.
Okay.
That takes care of itself.
Oh,
Okay? Now in the winter, I designed a second breaker panel down in the utility room. I have my main breaker panel that's on 24/7. I have a second breaker panel that's only lit up when two conditions are met. If the sun is actively shining and the battery is happy, mostly full, that breaker panel fires up. Once again, this is automatic. I don't have to be around. It just comes on when those two conditions are met. If either one of those conditions aren't met, it just shuts off. And in that breaker panel, all the tile floors in this house have electric radiant heat floor heating in them. So in the winter, or 3 seasons really, in spring and fall too, on sunny days, all of our tile floors heat up.
Wow. Whether you want it
And
to
so
or
we're
not.
banking so once again, sunlight that would otherwise go to waste gets stored in what? Mass, something that stores heat. So then at the night, slowly re-radiates that heat back into the living space.
That's
Sorry,